Welcome to Threads. What in the world?
Sorry. I don't know, because you're like, welcome to Threads.
Well, I didn't want the breath to be. I wanted to give you a dry space.
Well, I usually cut it. Usually that first breath I cut out anyways, because it's usually, although with the music you can't.
I want to give you a little bit of space.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Welcome to Threads Podcast, Life Unfiltered. Thank you for joining us. We are a show where we take off our mask and we get real. As Zane once said, we talk about real shit. And so, Jason, what in the world are we doing today?
We are doing, what are we doing? We are doing, I didn't mute my phone, we are doing episode 173.
Wow.
And yes, and it's the personal format episode, and this is the last episode for our quote-unquote season.
Ooh, one season down.
Yeah, I wonder if we should relabel that, or does that just get weird? I think we did talk about this at one point.
I don't know if you and I talked about it. Maybe you and Ben talked about it.
Yeah, I think it would be weird.
Yeah,
because we got 173, and then it would be like season 1 episode. Yeah,
people,
anyways.
and I don't think people care enough about that. It's just, this will be our last main show for a month, and then we're gonna have some content out, but nothing major this.
Well, there might be new content, but it typically will be real short and or with our wives. I don't know. We do need to check on that, but so I'm excited to record today as Mike is moving to Israel on Friday, so it'll be remote from here on out.
Yes, I will be on a camel, and I'll be a live remote from Israel on a camel, and doing that.
Dude, that would be cool. We should do a check-in.
I don't know how well the Wi-Fi is there.
Well, we should just do not live or anything, but we should just do a remote check-in. We can do a Zoom on your phone. I mean,
yeah, let's see if it works.
That'd be fun.
This is Mike from Israel.
Checking in.
Well, it's also gonna be a really weird time because I'm gonna be 7 hours ahead, which is gonna mess it up, especially since you have to work most of the days that I'm gone.
Yeah, we'll try to figure it out. We'll
figure it out. So I thought it'd be fun to start our last show ever before I move to Israel, to start with some knock-knock jokes.
Interesting.
Which when I was reading about them, they came into vogue in the early 1900s. That's a random fact.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow. Where did they start? In a certain city, or
I didn't look that far. I mean,
okay.
I wasn't that intrigued in it. I just thought that was cool. This style joke is made in America.
All right, let's do it.
So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Wahoo. What are you so excited about? Wahoo.
All right, well, I'll give that a 2.
That 2 is generous.
Is there any knock knock noke? Is there any knock-knock joke that he doesn't say, who's there?
Well, I don't think so, because the person who would be the next one would say, who's there?
Yeah, I mean, I was like, sup.
Sup. I mean, you could.
Yeah, anyways.
Now it's your turn.
You didn't tell me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, bro, you said Mike transitions to knock-knock jokes. You didn't ask me to. I mean, I can.
No, that's fair. Let's just go.
No, now you pissed me off. Knock jokes.
Usually when we've done jokes, it's
no
miscommunication.
That is a miscommunication. I don't want kid ones.
Okay, let me go with my next one.
Okay, well, I'm looking.
You know what? Let's just do these, and we'll have our talk about them. Knock knock.
Sorry, who's there?
I am
who?
Don't you even know who you are?
I got 55 dirty knock-knock jokes. I went dirty.
Of course you did. I thought about them, but they were pretty dirty. So,
knock.
Who's there?
Master
who?
Masturbator.
Yeah, I already saw that one.
Let's see. Oh, that one I don't want to say. Oh, this one's kind of funny. Knock.
Who's there?
Pat
who?
Pat my ass.
Nice. Jason has always wanted me to do that. Okay, ready? Knock.
Who's there?
Tissue. A tissue is for blowing your nose.
These are lame, Michael.
They're funny, though. They're like dad jokes.
Knock.
Who's there?
The waitress.
The waitress who?
I just need the tip.
Jason.
Okay, so this actually a throwback to Zane from doing PA pranks. So
Okay.
he did this one, pretty sure. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Haywood.
Haywood who?
Haywood, you blow me?
And rated explicit.
No, it's not. I'm not swearing.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Hike.
Haiku.
I didn't know that you liked Japanese poetry.
Is that what a haiku is?
Yeah.
Man, these are. I feel like I should get these. This is Mike related. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Mike.
Mike who?
Mike Wiener.
Okay.
I don't get it though. Mike Wiener.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
No, seriously.
I don't get it either.
Mike Wiener. I don't even get it. We're gonna get it is, but I don't even know what it is. I'm like Mike Wiener. I don't know. Somebody is probably gonna email us.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Ice cream soda.
Ice cream soda. Who?
Ice cream soda. People can hear me.
That's a good one. I like that one because I had to think about that. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Toot, toot.
Toot, toot. Who?
No one. I was actually just motorboating. That's stupid.
Okay.
These aren't actually that bad, honest.
This is my last one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
June.
June who?
June, you know how long I've been knocking out here?
You got to work on your delivery.
I know. June, no. Do you know how long I've been knocking out here?
There you go.
How about that?
That's pretty good. All right, I'm going to do one more. Some of these are weird. Okay. This one's a good one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Dixie.
Dixie who?
His Dixie is Dixie is enormous. His dick is enormous. It's supposed to be. Talk about delivery.
Wah, wah, wah. Do you maybe have your buttons out where they're like
you
the
know,
wah, wah?
I don't have them out. So
Of course. Yep.
let's do this knock knock.
Who's there?
Hugh.
You who?
Not you who. Hugh.
Hugh who?
Huge erection. Huge G erection.
Yeah.
All right, I think we failed on these.
Yeah.
You're not liking my dirty jokes.
Well, I mean, they're not as funny as these like dad style jokes.
No,
which are
yours all
corny.
sucked except the second to the last one. Anyways, this sucked.
Especially since I didn't tell you.
Tell you what?
Especially since I didn't tell you to find jokes.
No, you literally didn't. I was
Yeah.
like, I would have done it. I didn't. I just assumed or.
Miscommunication.
No, I will agree with you though. I definitely yeah. It's implied that I should bring my own, but I
Yes.
just didn't read into that.
But it also should be, hey, can you get those?
yeah,
Someday we will figure this out.
we're gonna work on it on our break.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mike's-
Definitely gonna work.
Mike's
on it.
gonna be gone for a week of our break. Then he's gonna be like recovering for 2 weeks because he'll be tired.
a lot tired.
Yeah. So during the, with our personal update, as you know, we just kind of check in with our lives, some highs, lows, accountability, those kind of things. And so, Mike, what is going great in your life right now?
In a lot of areas, I am owning shit, and I don't just mean like dog poop, but like not sitting passively by. As there's drama in my life, drama in other people's lives, who like students that I work with. I'm really just like hitting it like right on the head and not like letting it go. And that's a change for me.
So not letting it, like kind of procrastinating it because you don't really want to
Yeah.
deal with it. You're just like, I'll get to it, but then it's almost worse that whole time that you haven't dealt with it.
For sure. And if you push it down the road thinking it'll heal itself, right? Drama usually never heals itself. It only gets worse. So I'm finding that I'm owning that, and it's just in the moment to really just all of a sudden be like, hey, like this needs to be dealt with, but I'm seeing the fruit of it. Right? And there'd be anxiety, nervousness for things that didn't need to be there. So there's that. And then we just had a good family time on Saturday and Sunday. I didn't do any long run, any rock, anything. Which Natalie's like, I think that's the first time in like 6 months that you haven't done a Saturday.
Really?
It's been pretty close, yeah.
Dang, good for you.
So, and then Sunday we skipped church because it was my last Sunday before being gone for 2 weeks. So we just took us.
You're in Israel for 2 weeks?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
I thought it was a week.
No, so we're leaving on the 25th. We're coming back on the 7th, which is just under 2 weeks. It's 13 days. I know. So again, I knew we wouldn't have a lot of time this week because this week is packed with stuff. So I was like, okay, let's spend Saturday and Sunday. Let's take care of that and let's do that. So, I know. Well, but if you think about it, so we're gonna lose a day traveling because there's 7 hours ahead of us in a 10-hour flight. So it's 17 hours we lose.
Yeah,
and then
for some reason in my head it was like 7 days, like a Friday to Friday.
Well, we would really see nothing, but yeah, we're gonna hike and study for 11 days out of that.
Okay.
Out of the 13 we're gone. So,
dang, dude.
Yeah. So how about you? What's going well in Jason Thierry's life?
Well, I'm awesome at marriage. Just gonna let you know, I'm incredible.
You have one marriage.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
I'm perfect. No, that has been going good. We went to therapy last week, Wednesday, timestamp, and we had a good session, talked about things, and I don't know, I'm just feeling like I'm doing great at things, and it's hard for me to say that. I'm pretty critical of myself. Excuse me. And over the week, during some communications with some other people, overheard some stories about struggling with marriage and those kind of things, and I just had some reflection of like, I'm doing good. Like our marriage has never been better. That's right awesome. Now, and if you've listened to the podcast, you would hear the screwed up with Megan again. I screwed up with Megan. I mean, literally every like low was Megan.
Yeah. Not
her being low, but me screwing up. And so it's just been great to not have that, and it's just been positive, and I don't know what else to say about it. I'm kind of on cloud nine. Yeah.
Are you nervous that it might go back at all?
So I'm not, but my beautiful wife is, because she has some trauma from stuff I've done, and not like bad stuff, but I mean, for instance, for an example, I would get super jealous when she would go out with friends, like early on in our marriage. And so now I'm just like, yeah, bye-bye. Now, that's not new. That's been going on for years. I've been like, yeah, get out of the house. Like, go spend time with your friends. But she still is a little triggered from that. Not so much anymore. But there's some other things where she's worried that the what do they say, the shoe's going to drop and it's going to go back to normal. But as long as her and I are working on our stuff and we're doing our check-in and those kind of things, I think it will not go back.
Yeah. Did your therapist or anyone give you like a time frame for how long, like before Megan will start to be like, okay, yeah, this Jason is staying, or is there anything out there about that?
I don't think so. I know she didn't say anything about that, and I think it's kind of just up to Megan when working through with her therapist. Yeah. And I know she's talking about that stuff, but it's hard for me to accept that she still has those triggers. Oh, for example, which I'll talk about, Sully is going to therapy now, and the first visit I had to bring him, and I was kind of bummed about that, and Megan had said, well, I'm worried you're just going to come back and say that you don't like him and throw a fit about it and blah, 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 and I'm just going to be upset because I did the work, I picked the therapist, blah, blah, blah. So it's just stuff like that, not even giving me a chance to do that. And I was like, that hurt my feelings. And not that I, it wasn't bad, but I did verbalize. I'm like, that kind of bummed me out. But I understand why you're thinking that way.
Yeah. Well, I'd say with Natalie and I, because again, I like with like my temper and that, like I made the big, well, not big. Well, I mean, I didn't do it. Well, I did, but therapy. I don't know who to like give credit to. It wasn't just me, but it's therapy. Through therapy, changing that. I mean, I think like we're almost 4 years out from that. And I'd say Natalie's finally starting to believe that those changes are permanent.
Yeah.
And again, that's like I get when you're saying that it's kind of like hurtful, but like, and also in reality, I mean, so we've been married 16 years. So if we're talking 4 years ago, So we were married for 12 years of a guy who, like, she did have to, like, make sure everything was good and pacified. And so, yeah, I didn't know if, like, your therapist kind of gave you guys any time frame or anything like that.
Yeah, and I think just plowing forward, and eventually I think it'll go away, because I think some has gone away already from her not worrying about it. But yeah, I'm not. Again, it hurt my feelings, but it wasn't like real bad. And why is it with guys too? She apologized later again and felt real bad about it. I'm like, yeah, it's good.
And I don't know.
Like, it's fine. I just told you it hurt my feelings. I'll survive. But for whatever reason, women, and they are more emotional, but man, they just they carry.
Are they more emotional than us?
I mean, maybe in a different way.
Yeah, I think in a different way emotional.
Yeah. So I think they just carry it longer, and she's like, I'm just so jealous that you can, like, yeah, it's good, it's whatever, you know what I mean? And,
yeah.
And I even said last night, we were talking about it, I was like, I think all guys are like that, except if the guy sleeps with your girl.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like
then it's like forever.
Yeah,
you will never forget.
Yeah. No, you won't. I don't think there can be anything else. But yeah, anyways. And then real quick, Sully's therapy. He's going to actually a regular therapist to work on his anxiety a little bit. And it's gone pretty well. What the positive part of the therapy is Sully has been excited to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the guy had magnets in there, and Sully was like, "Oh, I'm in.
This is it. Let's go."
So he's done. So the second one, he was like, "When are we going to see Mr. Gary?" And I'm like,
so cool.
"Yeah." So hopefully it'll work. Who knows? It's like we're all going to therapy in this family. So.
Which is cool, but also probably really, really expensive for you guys.
Well, the stipulation for Sully's was you needed to have priority health. Like that was you. Yeah. So we're just paying a $30 copay, not cash,
which is much better than
the
cash. Okay. So we just talked about some high points. What about a low point, Jason?
You know, and again, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm not. Maybe you have a low point for me, because that would help. I didn't have a lot of low points. Again, it's usually with Megan. I screwed up. But I guess the only thing I can think of is we have changed some screen time rules in our house.
Ooh.
And so here's how it goes. So Avery has to put her phone down at 7.
Okay.
Sully only gets 1 hour Monday through Thursday. And then we, for 1 hour after dinner, are putting our phones down.
Okay. You as well. Wow.
Now, it doesn't mean I won't come down here and work. She means like literally numbing out. God, I'm so freaking burpy.
You are so burpy.
Why did I pick up a soda? Jeez Louise. No one probably hears it, but you might can see me going.
And all those who listen or watch on YouTube.
Yes.
So if you want to see Jason burpee, I don't know why you would.
You should check out YouTube. We got a new setup for our screen, and it's pretty cool.
Okay, sorry. Back screen time.
Oh yeah, and so for us, an hour. And yeah, I'm gonna do it. We really didn't do it this week, even though we set it up, because I was doing Laugh Fest, so it was kind of a shit show. But anyways, so I don't know. The first night I said, Avery, you need to put your phone down. She's like, okay. Well, instead of like trusting that she wouldn't pick it up, I went into the iOS app and just shut it down.
Okay.
And then as she was bringing it over there, she's like, Dad, it says my screen time won't turn on till after school. And she gets it in the morning to like text her friends.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, sorry. And so put it down. And then she was upset, and I thought about it. And this is where it kind of turns into a high. I actually circled back with her. I was like, you know what? I should have trusted you. That was wrong for me to do that. And then we had a great conversation. And she was like, thank you, Dad. I was like, oh. So it turned out to be a low where I was like, didn't give her, again, my skeptical, which we've talked about of everyone. I didn't give her the chance to F it up.
So, but as a parent, how do you do that? So like we have a Switch as a family. We got it as a family Christmas present. And so like I actually just got the app for my phone, so like I can just see how much screen time, and I could put on screen time, and that just bugs Cam. And I'm like, part of me like gets it, right? He doesn't like to think we're looking over his shoulder, but part of it as a parent is just to know, like, are you playing it 2 hours a day? Are you playing it 3 hours?
So just for you, and maybe I don't have it set up right, but those kids can plow right through that screen time.
Yeah, it
doesn't shut it down. I don't know if it dings,
but
after like 30 seconds, they can just keep playing. So
Because there's a parent of a friend of Cam's who's their council actually shuts down, and he said he just used the app. Maybe I need a lesson from him.
I would look into that, and maybe Sully's using Megan's profile, and it's not set up that way. So I'm not sure.
Kids are smart.
They are. I'm not sure about that. But, yeah, we noticed with Sully, if he's on it a lot, he just becomes a dick.
Yeah.
He's just like doesn't want to listen and those kind of things. So,
but it makes sense. Like their brain's forming, and it probably numbs their brain in really weird ways.
Dude, the first night we did it with Avery, I saw her face from 7 to 9. Like, she was sitting on the steps. She was talking to us. She asked if we wanted to play a game. I'm like,
what? What? Let's go.
I'm like looking around like, why didn't I do this sooner? So
you're saying I will get less messages from you from 7 to 9 p.m.
No, that's not necessarily true because I might be down here. The rule is for me, if I'm down here working on stuff, that doesn't count. So I'm not going to run down here. Usually I do try to kick it after dinner.
But you also have more family time because your daughter will be bored and want to spend time with you.
I know, and I was so excited. I'm like, we should have done this long ago.
32 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, that's kind of a high-low mixed together. Yeah. But what about you as far as your struggle in the last month?
So with the Israel trip coming up, it is an all-consuming thing. And it's highly distracting in so many areas of life. So while I said, some areas are going well, and they are, it's just one of these things that's constantly on my mind. Always feels like there's something more to buy, there's something more to learn, there's something more to do, there's a COVID test to go get, there's a health form to fill out. So for me, it's just like one of those things that's just consuming so much of my time. I feel like so much of my brain space that it's not fully in other places.
Yeah, I can attest to
you
that.
can attest to that. I know. There's a little grin. So again, if you want to see Jason's little grin, go watch us on YouTube. That's the last time I'm plugging that. Anyways.
That's a lie. Yeah, I have noticed that a little bit with you, and I've tried to. Well, let me back up. I'm like you. If I had this going on, I'd be obsessed with making sure everything's in order and thinking about it. It would just all consume me.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad. You're the only one. I think we're similar when it comes to that because we both like control. So what else can you do? You control the situation. What you can control: buying things, researching, organizing.
Yeah. What's even like snacks, because like we have like breakfast is at 7 a.m., lunch is at 2 p.m. That's 7 hours. So then you have to figure out snacks. Okay, you can't just buy them there, so are you gonna like travel with them?
Why can't you buy them there?
There's not a lot of stores where we're gonna be. I mean, there are stores in Israel, but there's just not a lot of stores. So again, you have to pack those. So my thought is I'm gonna pack them every single day's worth. Like here's a bag for this. So that when I'm there and we're, from 7 in the morning till 8 at night doing stuff, I don't have to come back and think about I have to pack my snacks for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's just one of those things that's just like, I normally don't live that way. I normally don't think for, 10 days worth of snacks all set, bagged out in different bags. Like, not how my brain normally works. So again, I just know it's distracted. I'm sure it's affected you and Natalie and Cam and probably even my job. And
yeah, it affected me earlier with the dropping off of some of the working out. And at the time I was frustrated, but lately I've just been like, it's cool, whatever you need, because I know what you're going through, the planning, and it's not been that big of a deal. Although as an additional low, I think for both of us, I just messaged Mike last night. Like I was like, hey, like today I asked if you want to do lunch and you said, no, I can't. I'm like, that's cool. But I'm like, I'm feeling like we're just doing podcasting and we need to connect personally. And we stopped rucking at least a month ago, right?
Well, I think our last ruck was the really big 10-miler.
Yeah, and that was way in February.
January. It was the end of January.
Oh, my God.
I know.
So I haven't rucked for like
2 months.
6. Wow, it's not the end of March.
Okay, yeah. Well, to me it is. To me, we're already there. But anyways, no, I get that. Yeah, so 6 weeks.
Yeah, so we've missed that one ruck a week, which we do on Thursday. And we would talk some podcasting, but we talk mostly other stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of been a low, too, with all this. And so, yeah, we're going to focus on that in April.
Yeah, I think to me, that's a bummer as well. Again, as life has gotten packed for both of us, it's made it harder.
Yeah, but I wouldn't beat yourself up too much about the Israel thing. I think everyone kind of gets it. I mean, it's a life-changing trip, and it's not like you're going to, the Bahamas or Mexico for a week where you're just going to basically sit there and sip drinks. And
even though after this trip, I might have to go do that.
Why?
I know, just to like totally relax and just like veg out at a pool and drink drinks.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, how are you thinking about this trip then? So that's interesting you brought that up. It's almost like sounding like work to you.
And in a way it is, but again, so I'm trying to explain it for people because again, it's not a concept. So I mean, so we're hiking 5 to 10 miles a day, which whatever. I mean, you can do that on a trip, but then it's also the rest of the time is like learning, and so it's like listening, like it's like going to school basically.
Okay.
Now you're just doing it where that stuff happened. So instead of where like you would just read the Bible and it'd be like, oh, this happened here, blah blah blah. Like you're actually sitting where they think it happened, and you're learning it about there and some of the things you can see. So again, there's from 7 in the morning until 7 at night, we're doing like either lunch, hiking, or learning.
Can you explain the hiking? What is that like? To the spots that you're going, you can't get to by car.
There's some where you can get by car, but there's a lot I've been told that you learn on the path. And again, if we look in the Bible, Jesus walked from place to place.
Yeah.
And so
he didn't have a choice.
Well, he didn't have a choice, but the whole thing is that if we want to learn about Jesus in his context, a lot of it will be by walking.
That's fair.
Because like think about driving, even in my city today. Like I went on a 5-mile rock, and there's things I learn about my city by walking that I wouldn't by driving to a spot. I was like, this is different. So again, that's kind of the point of the trip, is that we'll learn as we walk. Oh, this makes more sense. Why I read blah blah blah.
Yeah, for an example, even if you're a passenger in a car over a driver, you
for
see
sure.
so much more because you're not focusing on not dying.
And
on
not
the
dying.
road.
You speaking of not dying, I almost died on the way here.
Did you?
Yeah, there was a farm semi truck that went over the lane as I was like alongside of him. He just was drifting. Ooh, baby.
Man, I see that all the time. Those guys, it's that's a big vehicle if it drifts over. Like,
yep, I know. It's like, well, see ya. Okay, so back on track. So accountability from last time, Jason, Gerald, Terry, did you reach out to your pastor?
What do you think?
But by that look, no.
I didn't, Mike. It wasn't. I thought about it all week. I even said to Megan, I'm like, shit, I better email Terry because I at least need to send an email to fall into what Mike wanted.
I'm not. It's not what Mike wants. I'm not going to force you into anything.
No. But I mean, it's accountability for a reason.
Yeah.
And I just can't get over it. I wish I could figure out what the weirdness is with it.
Yeah.
I think it's probably worried that he's going to judge me for not going to church. But he's not that guy.
Yeah.
This is all stuff that I'm creating in my own head. Like, I have no idea if he is that guy. But as far as what I know of him, he's not. And I just can't get over it. And we did say that, Megan did say, hey, because she worked this weekend, let's go to church next week. So apparently we're going to church next Sunday, so we'll see.
So I get why you're there, especially with all the trauma, right? There's more trauma than you realize with church and all that. But like, I just like, even if I have a student who's gone for a bit and they come back, I'm never like, oh, I can't believe you haven't been here. It's like, dude, it's awesome to see you. Like, I'm glad you're here. And I'm assuming that Terry would be that way unless Terry's a jerk, which from what you say, I don't think he would be. But
would I redeem myself? Would I redeem myself if I went to church on Sunday and in person I asked him? Would you count that? Would you?
I'm gonna count whatever. I mean, this is more about you.
Yeah, but
in your journey.
But the whole point of this accountability bit is because of you. You know what I mean? Don't talk about journey. You can go to hell with that shit.
You love that word.
Oh, my gosh. Megan said it the other day, and usually she snickers about it, but she said it and didn't catch it, and I was like,
well, do you want to know why? Because there's a whole text going, we're all going to use journey around you. And
no, there is.
Yeah.
No, there's not. So, yeah, I have not done it. I actually feel guilty not doing it. I made the decision not to do it, though, because even, like, yesterday at Laugh Fest, I'm like, okay, I should just send this email right now because then I can show Mike, like, look at. And again, I know it's not for you, but for this show, it is for you and me. So accountability for you. We had talked about that you were going to connect with the kid that Terry mentioned on the podcast, someone that needs a male role model. Were you able to do that?
No.
Yes. Thank you, Jesus.
I mean, now I also have my justification. So
no. It's not excuse hour.
Well, wait, you just had excuse hour. Now I want my excuse hour.
Okay.
So I was like 2 weeks ago. I was like, crap, I should do this. Not crap, I should, but like, hey, I haven't done this yet, and I said I would. So I was talking with Natalie. I'm like, hey, does he have a mentor yet? And she's like, yeah, somebody from a different church. There's a guy who meets with him every week. So I gave myself an out, which is not healthy yet, but I did give myself an out, and I don't know the way forward from there. So, anyways, we both failed. Wah, wah, wah.
What a terrible last episode before we go into break.
Or is this just real life? Like like Unfiltered. Like, how often would we really want to admit that we didn't do it? And we
That's
didn't.
true. All right, I'm taking a piss break.
Me too.
Are you really?
Yes, I have to pee, and I'm just like, okay.
Go now. I will edit the video and the audio.
Holy man. I've been waiting for like 15 minutes.
Oh, no. Oh, shit. Hey, give me details about the March 23rd comedy roast battle. I am available on Wednesday night. That sounds fun. That's so funny you had to go too.
I was like, oh my gosh. We're going to get through it.
No, I thought about powering through. I'm like, nah, not doing it. I think only one time during the live stream I actually went to the bathroom. I usually try to go right before I...
And we did.
Yeah, I know we did, but I had drank a bunch of water, and I've already had a monster. Well, there's the monster right there, and...
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot today, too. I'm almost at my water goal.
Holy
Like
shit.
this will finish my water goal.
Dang.
But before I rocked, I did a drip drop, and then I did one when I got back.
Drip drop?
It's like liquid IV.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the cheap version.
Yeah.
And the one that doesn't make my stomach messed up.
Yeah. So we were just wrapping up accountability. We should probably have written the sentence down we said last because I don't remember where we were. But why don't you transition into airing, Ben?
Yeah. So, Jason, I don't have anything to air against you, but I do have a question.
Okay.
But I will let you air your grievance first.
You know what, Mike? I don't have any. I was just psyching you out.
I figured. I actually figured, like, it's bad, bro. I was like, yeah, it's not. So I decided I didn't have anything, which is good, I think. It means,
Dude, that's really good.
it means we're working through things in our friendship. I almost said marriage. That was weird. In our friendship, working through that stuff. So I have a question.
Yes, I actually have a question, too, that I just thought of.
What is your greatest fear right now?
Well, that's our mental health update.
Well, that's stressing out. fear?
My greatest fear right now is that I am going to get too many clients from our side business, and I am going to drop the ball on some things, which kind of has come true already for other things. So as I'm going back to lawn care,
Yes.
now again, when I say that, I only am working 40 hours a week, but I don't work 40 hours a week in the winter. I just don't. And I have more time and flexibility. And we've picked up 2 clients for the podcast company, which is good, but there's going to be some demands. And I already have a side editing job. I'm supposedly supposed to have another one, but I don't know. I haven't got communication from her. So that's my biggest fear, is to not have enough time for everything else. And it's clearly happened because I haven't gamed in like a week. And
Wow.
that sucks.
That's a long time for you.
In fact, my podcast for Gig actually edited today, and it's supposed to go out at 6 a.m. Like, I got home last night, and I'm like, I haven't seen my wife all weekend. And that's a big step for me, too, to be like, I could have stayed up and edited it last night. I was like, nope, I'm going to hang with my wife, and I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
And
so I was impressed that you could do that even before I got here today, because I was like, man, like, who knows? Like, what if it was a bad one and you had to add a lot of extra stuff out? But you must just be like, hey, power through it.
Yeah, I mean, I got Sully on the bus at 8:10, and I came down here and
powered through it.
Yeah, so
yeah, I can see that, especially if you've done other things like Laugh Fest and you're used to doing those. It means less time for those, or it means that you cram at random times.
Yeah, the podcast that I've stopped is Hey Guys Media Group podcast. I haven't done it in like a month.
Oh, it's really been that long?
Maybe 3 weeks.
Okay, but still
And
a while.
There's two levels there. One, I don't like what I'm putting out.
Well, a solo podcast is hard.
Yeah, and so that's part of it, because it really only takes 15 minutes to record it, 20 minutes to edit it. Like, it's basically an hour project probably, and uploading it and stuff. But yeah, so there's some other levels there. But what about you? What's your greatest fear right now?
Is that what you're going to ask me?
No, I got another one.
Well, then I think you asked me.
I freaking forgot it now. Son of a bitch. I should have wrote it down. I did. You need to be better on me and say, Jason, write it down before we talk, because you're going to freaking forget it. And it literally popped up when you said, I have a question to ask. Gosh darn it. Let's just talk about what your biggest fear is, and maybe it'll pop back in currently. I think I know, but
I think my biggest fear is just dropping the ball on things. Again, as there's good things, I think it's very similar to yours.
yeah.
I think as we have good stuff going on, it's easy to be like, hey, this is awesome. But it's also like, man, what if I drop a ball? So did you just remember it?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Ask
Yeah.
me this question.
My question to you is, and this has been brought up on the show before, why will you not say I love you to other people other than to your wife, your Lord and Savior, and your son?
Most likely due to my relationship with my dad.
Yeah, but I'm not your dad.
I know, but like okay, so it was never in my life that guys would say that they love each other.
Me too.
I know, and apparently I haven't dealt with it.
I mean, that's fair, but it really doesn't bother me that much, but it's kind of turned into a funny thing. Like, I'll send Mike stuff. I will say I love you, damn it, to me. And I don't know. I think you should think about that, though, because my dad never said it either. I mean, it was once in a blue moon, but my mom said it all the time. But, of course, my mom's saying it as she beat the shit out of me 20 minutes ago. You know what I mean? So that doesn't mean anything either. But I don't know. I don't want to get to the word I love you being a just a thing to say. And we do say it a lot like that. But usually when I say it to you or Ben,
Sad face.
I'm saying his name. Zane made a good point.
He did.
That I did mean it. It was like heartfelt, and I didn't say it to him all the time, but like if he was in a pinch or he was having a rough time, it's like, man, I love you. You got this. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Something to think about.
I know that it's there. I just haven't dealt with why it's there fully.
And please don't start saying it just to make other people happy, because if you're not genuine about it, then it sucks.
Yeah.
So.
It was a word that guys didn't say, and so I just have apparently never processed that.
How are you on crying? Like, is that a thing for you?
All the freaking time.
Really?
So not like random cries, but last night we had a 12th grader. It was his last youth group for high school. So we said goodbye to him. We prayed over him. Of course I cried. I am such a crier in those moments. But I'm not a crier like just randomly. Like I wouldn't just randomly sit there. Well, apparently some people do. Like they'll just sit there and they have a bunch of feelings and they'll just cry it out. And I'm like, I don't know what that's like.
So I've seen you well up one time on the show, and I don't remember when it was, but I've seen you one time well up. I don't remember. I
don't know what it would have been here.
It was it was probably talking about your family.
Yeah.
I'm sure, which makes sense. But I get emotional a lot, and I'll well up like, my gosh, I watch some damn TikToks, and with the right music and this scenario with a dog. Anytime there's a dog at a shelter that's getting adopted.
Oh, that's so true.
With the music, yes. Thank God I'm by myself. No, it doesn't matter. I don't mind crying in front of me, but I did have Avery say to me, like, Dad, I've only seen you cry once when Baxter died. And because we actually put him down at the house, so I watched him take his last breath, and that was rough.
Oh, man.
Rough. Good experience for the dog because he didn't know what was going on. Like, I can never bring my dog to a vet to put him down. It's too rough. But yeah, Avery's only seen me cry that one time, and she's 14.
Oh wow. And but there's times that you've welled up, you just haven't cried though much.
Yeah, it's never like rolled down my cheek, and I'm okay with that. But I don't know
why. See, now I can ask you why.
Well, I don't know.
Stunted as well because emotionally,
I'm pretty in touch with my emotional. I don't know. It's not like I'm fighting it, though.
Yeah.
When those things happen, I'm not fighting it back. I would let it go, but I don't know. Maybe it's my meds that slow it down a little bit. Who knows?
But yeah, I cry. I tear up all the time. Especially, oh man, those dogs when they're going to get adopted and they're like butt wags.
Oh, the butt wag and the tail. Like it's like, they don't know that what's up, but they kind of know what's up.
I actually think dogs do.
Yeah, you think so?
Give her a bath or trim her nails.
Maybe it's just that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, dogs are smarter than we think.
Yeah, I think you're right. But they still shit in the carpet sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Really? Yours do?
Well, Winnie does. Winston is not potty trained.
Really?
Because he always goes with Frank.
Oh.
So if Frank is always the leader out the door, everything, and then we recently took away the doggy door because of training, so they don't have full access to the yard anymore. Yeah, Winston is not potty trained. He'll shit on the carpet on occasion.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
that's
gross.
why we're getting rid of the carpet. That carpet is ready to go.
Yeah, you should get rid of all carpet.
I know. Well, not down here.
Okay.
You want to hear shit echoing.
True,
off.
it echoes so bad. So we kind of did transition this, but I want to transition a little bit more to stressing us out. I feel like right now in the world there is a shit ton going on, and what was it? It was that meme that you posted about the person whose head, like inside their head, it was all tangled like thread, and when they were talking to someone, it became like clear. Mm-hmm. So I thought maybe we'd spend some time here talking about what's stressing us out. And again, this is not therapy, but again, I think something that is good for friends to do. So I'll go first with the one that's stressing me out. Is inflation. Inflation, like I was like, oh, it's fine. But even Aldi now has started to increase their prices. And I'm like, how high can everything go? Like gas. Gas is still over $4 in most places around here. Groceries are more, they're $20-$30 more a week, which, like isn't the end of the world, but then you're going, crap, like when is this going to end? If gas is going up, groceries going up, clothes going up. Anyways, just one of those things that to me, I'm like, dang, this is a ton of inflation all at once.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really paid attention to it much. The gas sucks. I'm done doing gig work, so that's, I mean, I should work this week because I'm not working at Weed and Feed, but I'm like, I'll probably, not fuel up at all. So, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, usually I'd use like 3 tanks a week. So I'm like, I'll save $150, probably more than that. To fill my tank up right now is about $78.
Like, do you know how much it was in the fall when you first started doing gig this fall?
It was like $305.
But do you know how much it was to fill up your tank?
Oh, it was like $52.
So it's about 20 more bucks per
Yeah.
time. So about 60 more bucks a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not really stressing me out, though. I guess I don't really pay attention to the prices of food. Or, I don't know. Maybe Megan does. But I'm sure for the people that are super budget conscious, they've definitely noticed it because they actually keep track of it. I am terrible with the money. I kind of stick my head in the sand.
Okay.
There's a lot of trauma between Megan and I that we have to work through with that. And so we've kind of just, as long as the checking account doesn't go to zero, we're okay. I mean, not like we're just spending like crazy. I mean, I have a pulse on what's going on with that. But no, I guess I honestly can say it's not really stressing me out. I don't watch a lot of news. I don't know if you do. Do you watch?
I don't watch a lot of news. You see some things on social media, but it's just interesting. Like even all these, probably another $30 a week now.
Yeah,
I would say between stuff. And again, it's not the end of the world. It's not like, oh man, we're broke, but it's just like one of those things that's like, shit. Like,
well,
there's just more things. Again,
it's such a jump so quick.
yes.
It wasn't a slow burn.
No.
Like all of a sudden, and within like 60 days, everything kind of like skyrocketed. And then the thing with Ukraine, that's another thing that's weird for me as far as like what's stressing me out. The war with Russia and Ukraine really stressed me out, but now no one's even talking about it. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell's going on. Like, because I get my stuff from Reddit and stuff, and I see a few things here and there, but it was like people were live streaming. Like, it was like a huge thing, and now I don't see anything about it.
Do you think it because we're such an instant culture that like it burns really hot?
Yeah.
And then it goes away. And then unless we look like, unless we seek out the news, it just isn't there.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard much about it.
Yeah.
I have a fun fact for you, and I
Okay.
didn't know this. That 90% of the urea, which is basically the nitrogen in fertilizer, comes from Russia.
Ooh, that's not good.
So, according to my boss, a ton of urea before like COVID and all that other stuff was $220 a ton. It's now $1,000.
Wow. Now, was he able to like stockpile some for this year?
So, you remember I sent you that picture on Thursday? Yeah. I moved 3 semi-loads worth of fertilizer out of the barn under a tarp, basically this giant tarp. So, yeah, he was able to. We have enough fert till like midsummer.
Okay, and hopefully by then it will.
Yeah,
have
and so he
itself.
paid. Well, we had to raise all our prices, but I didn't know. And do you know how? And I didn't know this either. And I've been in the business for 20 years. Do you know how urea is made?
By pee?
No.
Oh, I didn't know. Like I'm just going by urine.
Well, you have to make it chemically.
Okay.
I thought it was mined.
Oh.
It's not. It's made with natural gas.
Oh.
So again, that's another reason it's high because natural gas prices are skyrocketing.
Okay.
So, but yeah, most of it is made in Russia and shipped over.
Yeah. So you said that was stressing you out, but not really anymore.
What is
the Russia war?
Yeah,
Russia and Ukraine.
It was really. I was very concerned, and we even did a podcast that God one, and we named it "Nuking God's Plan."
Yes.
And we talked about it. I'm like, and I had to tell my kids like they've been seeing they watch news at school, and like, no, we're not gonna have a World War III. But in my head, I was like, fuck, there it is. We might have a World War III. I was thinking about it.
I think it was closer than what a lot of us realized because
I agree.
And again, I'm not a huge Biden fan, but I think if Biden would have reacted more, I think World War III could have happened already.
I'm so happy that we're not intervening. Like, send them money, send them guns, send them whatever they need to Ukraine, but please don't send troops.
Yeah. Well, again, like I think it would help the people who are being attacked, but I think it could cause more death throughout the world.
I agree. The after effect of us intervening could be worse than what's going on. It sounds weird that you're making, the lives of them less because of this, but I mean, that's just the reality of it.
At some point, and this sounds so heartless and I don't want to, but again, if there's 1,000 people that will die versus if we send in troops 100,000, like, again, I'm so glad I'm not president. Can you imagine having to actually make those decisions and no one's happy with whatever decision you make?
Never.
So
shit, no one's happy with when your boss makes a decision with 4 people. Someone's pissed off about it, unless it's like giving us more money.
Yeah,
then it's not.
You know what though? Even somebody's probably pissed off because they thought that they should have gotten more. right?
Yeah.
There was that one play like, oh, they only gave me $1,000. Should have given me $2,000.
What is your? I know I am. We are squirreling over here. What is your thought about pay transparency? That's kind of a thing going around now, as far as like.
I think I think it should happen. I think it's important. Like, even like when people are trying to find jobs now, they'll never post. Well, not never, but they'll rarely post how much it is. And I think when it's hidden, it only benefits the boss.
No, I'm not talking about getting a new job. I'm talking about you and two employees that do the same job, not to tell them how much they get paid per hour.
Yeah, but I think that only benefits the boss.
Yeah, it does. But here we go. Here's my thing.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people pay the same no matter what. I don't think that's fair. If I'm a better employee than you, I should get paid more. What are your thoughts on that?
Exactly. And again, and I think it benefits the boss when you're not sure that you make more or less or the same as an employee who you clearly think is doing worse work.
But that's why the boss says don't say anything, because they don't want that other employer to get butthurt that they're paying you more.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like the thought of it because I don't want people to not get paid what they should get paid. But in the same breath, I'm like, I got to, for an example, in the company I work for, not mine, I'm just using this hypothetical. I got somebody that sucks ass and he's getting the paid same amount as me. Like, that's bullshit.
And you also don't know that.
Right.
And if you would know that, you could go to your boss and be like, yo, like, hey, I'm getting paid the same as Johnny, and Johnny does half the work of me, and it's crappy work, and we have to go back. So,
I mean, my bosses do say don't say anything when they give us raises and bonuses.
Yeah. And that's probably more common than what it is. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. I feel like though it's against the law to like if they would fire you because you told somebody, but
no, well, yeah. I mean, with Michigan, it's an at-will state. If they don't like your shirt, they can let you go. They don't have to give a reason.
Yeah, but there's still reasons why they can't let you go.
Nah, well, yeah, race, sex, that kind of stuff.
And again, and I don't know how Michigan. I know other states though where you talking about that and them firing you is a lawsuit.
Well, they can fire you, but yeah, that's where it changes if they sue. That the variables are different.
Yeah.
They legally can sue you, but then you can be like, or let you go, but then you can be like, was that discrimination?
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And then also for me, another thing that's stressing me out is the Israel trip. Like, there's just again, as I thought, there's so many details. There's so many known. So like, I've never been out of our country other than Canada. Canada doesn't count. Canada's just basically part of us.
Canadians will not like that.
I know. If we have any Canadians, haha.
Wow, you are just alienating everyone today.
Haha, Canada. No, anyways, so I've never really been out of country. I mean, Canada is not like a culture shock. There's not a language other than the French part. I've only flown on the plane in country, and so we're doing 10-hour flight, overseas, gone, like, and then it's a place of the world that has seen violence since, the 40s. Actually, way before that. But, I mean, in its current state has seen violence. So, again, that's just been stressing me out, and probably there's more times I've woken up in the night than normal, and
last night.
Last night, I don't know. My body was just amped up.
Were you worried about the ruck today?
I don't know if I was worried about the ruck, but then I'm like, okay, I got to do this and this, and if I get like 3 hours of sleep, then what am I gonna do? So, but yeah, I just think there's just a lot on my mind and a lot of details. And again, I am not a detail person. I'm such a big picture person.
Are you?
I know, but like, because you see, when I worry about the details, it's because I'm gonna forget the details. So like on our spreadsheet, like transparency, I have a big spreadsheet. Like for every show that we do of this and this, that's only because I'm afraid I'll miss them because I'm not a detail person.
Interesting.
So
I would say you are, well, obviously you're telling me this. I was thinking you were more detailed.
Yeah. It's learning that I suck at them, so I need to put systems in place so that.
It's good that you realized that, though.
So.
Just FYI, out of every single download that we've had, at least on Buzzsprout, 90 people have listened in Canada.
Total.
90 downloads. So it's 2% of our listeners.
Oh, sweet. We're good.
What do you think the biggest city of listens is for us?
Holland.
It is.
Yes. Let's go.
It's Holland, Grand Rapids, and San Jose, California, and Belmont, Michigan.
I was going to say Grand Rapids. I'm like, he wouldn't be asking me if it was Grand Rapids.
Good. Nice move there. Yeah. I like that.
So is there anything else stressing you out?
No. I mean, it's just I'm feeling good now, Mike.
Yeah.
Like, I swear I'm going to I'll leave this house today and something shitty is going to happen. But I'm feeling good about my kids, my wife. Yeah, other than that, I'm feeling great.
How about going back to Weed and Feed with Megan now working 12s?
Yeah, that it's not stressing me out as much. My mother-in-law can help out until she goes north to the cabin, but yeah, it's a little bit there. I mean, my bosses are so flexible, but I actually have guilt when I have to do it because I want to be there for them. My work ethic is like I'm going to show up, and they know I'll make it up. They'll know I'd be like, if I had to work a Saturday to make it up, they would. So it early on, it was stressing me out, but I'm feeling better about it now.
So did you talk through that, or you just process through that?
Process through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Oh! I just thought of what my airing of grievance was.
Okay.
You having lunch with Ben.
Okay.
We're going back to this.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Let's go backwards.
So, God dang it.
Well, this is not necessarily even airing grievance. I think this is stressing you out.
Yeah.
I think it fits well in here.
Well, it's both.
It's both and.
It's mental health, both and. Yeah. So, Mike went and saw Ben, and on the surface, I'm okay with it, but selfishly, I was worried that you guys are going to become friends, and it's going to affect the podcast. And it sounds a little bitchy as I say it out loud, but there's facts to that.
Yep,
it's truth, and I don't think that you will. But what do you think about all that?
Well, I have something I have to tell you.
Nah,
I'm just.
For 1 second, I believed you.
I know. I saw your face. No. So again, my point in that was not to rekindle friendship. What it was based out of, again, when we processed through things, when we were going to talk about it on the show, grieving the loss of friendship. As I was journaling, as I was processing, I was like, you know what? Like, there's still some unclosure that on my end, I have to let him know how I felt. I think we talked through this. So I did, and Ben and I texted back a couple times, and we decided to get lunch. He wanted to tell his side of the story, and I'm like, that's only fair. Like, I want him to share, the ways that he was hurt and the way I was involved. So I wanted to hear that. And so, yeah, we had lunch, and I knew it was going to stress you. So I think we had figured this out before we recorded last week. I waited till after the show because I didn't want you thinking about the whole episode.
Honestly, you told me, and then I forgot about it. I didn't even circle back, remember? Because it's just been like a crazy week. And when you told me, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. And so, yeah, I mean, it's fine. I just sound so whiny, like saying that I was worried about it. I love what we have, and I don't want it to be messed with.
Yeah, and that's because, again, it would be that, like, a friendship.
There's no way it would work.
Well, especially since, like, we were all friends together. Like, that's the point where it's like, yeah, when you start separating out. Anyways, yeah, I can see how that was stressing you and how that would be like, oh, like, what in the world is going to happen out of this? But it's almost better for you that you forgot about it then.
Yeah, well, it brings all the emotions up again.
Yep.
It's just like, I processed through it. Like, whatever happens, I'll deal with it in the future. But, like, I wasn't expecting to have to think about it again.
And again, I think that's the thing we talked about with processing is that I don't think you're ever done processing. You just process less often.
I would agree with that.
Right? There's less triggers. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. There's less triggers that happen.
Yeah.
So.
And I heard a little bit about the conversation, and I'm not too happy about it. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
So I'm not going to tell anything more than that. But,
okay.
I mean, you told me what you told me. So
okay.
He didn't tell me everything, Ben. Don't worry.
Anyways.
I just screamed to the mic. Sorry, y'all.
What an awkward turtle end. This is a fitting end to the season.
Yeah. So, guys, this is done. We are done. A month. Again, was going to be gone for 6 weeks. So apparently, we have to plan what we're going to record and let you guys know what's up. We will have maybe some repeat episodes, some check-ins from Israel, maybe if we can do it. Just some odd and end stuff. And I'm looking forward to the break. It's not really a break for us. We're just not recording. We're still going to be posting on social and connecting with you guys and those kind of things.
So I love just a little side note. Like your work ethic makes you feel guilty about this.
I'm guilty
Because
I'm feeling guilty
I
about
know,
it.
like-
I have to justify
I know.
what we're doing.
I was like, we could just say we're taking a break. We'll come back, and we'll post little things, and we'll come back, and it's gonna be awesome. And yet, because of your work ethic, which you talked about, you're trying to justify why we should do this.
And I want to have some downtime too. I need the whole point
Yes.
of doing it.
Yes.
And maybe what we do record is just fun, and we sit down with my wife Megan and just hit record and talk for 20 minutes
Yeah.
and then end it.
Well, I think something like that, and even when I come back with Natalie and myself too, of like, I think she can set the record straight on some things. I think that'd be a fun little
That would
one.
be really fun.
Because I'm sure like them listening have to be like, that right there is not the whole story.
Well, of course.
Because again, it's not that we're hiding it, it's just that we are a person with a viewpoint and they have a different viewpoint.
Yeah, and they don't have a mic, so shut up.
So I think wow, Jason's
I'm
talking
digging
about
a hole over here.
not having a low point. I think it'll be good just to hear their voice. So I think that could be good. We'll both maybe do that at one point. I can do an Israel little voice memo and send it over. And
Yeah. Final thoughts?
it's been a fun season. It's been fun getting to know you more and hanging out and trying to figure out this podcast thing. And
Yeah. Guys, if you can help us out for free, it's join the Facebook group or
Do it.
sign up for the newsletter. We just got a new subscriber this week, so that's exciting. If you can go to threadspodcast.com, search, I almost said search Gig Economy Podcast, search newsletter. And then if you want to support us financially, buymeacoffee.com/threadspodcast. We have some things in the works for that. Hopefully we can provide you some more content through some different platforms. So, and always, guys, keep the faith, do your work, and live life unfiltered.